And so, yeah, guys, like I was just saying, uh, Steve from Minecraft is in my Nah section because, I mean, there's just no way. I mean, why would they do Steve? He's just, I mean, hold on, I'm getting a message. I'm sorry, what? Who's in what? Steve is in. What was that last part? I don't follow. What are you saying? I don't understand. Who's Steve? Who's in Smash? What? Aw, you motherfucker. Yeah, it looks like I was wrong about Steve. And before we go too far into this, I do want to say that I don't try not to be too blinded by my bias for a character, whether I don't like a game or whatever. It's not that I don't like Minecraft. I just didn't think Steve would make a very good character for Smash. And after watching the trailer, it's definitely Steve is a very, very different kind of character. I know people are like, oh, well, he'll be a zoner or whatever. No, no. I mean, he doesn't have any projectile attacks at all, but he can build blocks around you. Like, I'm not quite sure. This character does not seem like he'll be very viable for competitive play, but obviously Sakurai doesn't really give a shit about that. But it's just the fact that he's so different. But when you look at Min Min from ARMS, it kind of tracks. Like, Min Min from ARMS is so different for Smash. Like, it makes no sense. Like, Sakurai seems to be making characters that are really challenging what we can perceive to be a character. At this point, nothing is impossible. A lot of people said Banjo will never happen, and I was one of the people who said, don't say that, because as the great Etika once said, if Cloud can get in, then Banjo can get in, and anything can happen at this point. So don't say Banjo can't get in the next game. Here we are. A lot of people wanted Steve. We heard there was massive amounts of rumors. One of the only characters Virgin got wrong was a Square Enix character and Steve. And so it's possible that these rumors were true, but they were being saved for DLC and for way later. I don't know. I have no idea. It's possible that those rumors were all completely false. I don't know. But Steve is here, and that's cool. So I want to say, like I said, I was totally being biased, but part of why I was biased and thinking Steve couldn't get in was because in Season 1 I would compare Steve and Banjo, and I just thought Banjo made way, way more sense, and there are so many people in the Steve camp, and I forgot to turn my brain switch. I forgot that this is Season 2 now, and I can't just say Steve has no chance. In fact, when I was driving to work, and I hadn't watched the video yet, I was thinking, who could it be? Who could it be? When you compare Master Chief to Steve, it's like, you know, I was thinking about my 5 characters. If it's going to be one of my 5 characters, I don't know. And I was really thinking about it, and I was like, you know, if anything, Master Chief won't be one of the characters, and it'll be someone else. But I didn't think it would be another Microsoft character. Now we know that Master Chief probably isn't getting in, and they're going to stick to characters from Microsoft who have at least appeared on Nintendo systems, like Banjo and Minecraft Steve, who've both appeared on Nintendo systems. So, I mean, this makes a ton of sense. It really does. It actually makes a ton of sense. It's just that my brain was just still flipped in that mindset of Steve can't get in, and I was thinking that because I would compare him to Banjo all the time, and now we're in Season 2, so if anything, Steve does have a chance of getting in. And when you really think about it, it makes a lot of sense. Sakurai said it himself. Sakurai actually basically confirmed my fears. I said he wouldn't work as a character. And I've seen some movesets made up by fans, and that's definitely not what Sakurai went with. I think a lot of people were thinking, how would Steve work in a generic fighting game, or how would Steve work if we played like another character from Smash 64 or Melee? But Smash is a new breed of monster at this point. Like, Smash is just crazy at this point. So characters like Steve and characters like Min Min they just break the rules of Smash. It doesn't matter anymore. And so that's why there's always that factor of unpredictability with Smash. And that's why I always said, like, I have no idea who's going to be in. I always say that because it's so hard to predict. Those are just my best guesses. And part of why I have the Nah section, part of why when I make a tier list, I have a section of, like, the most unlikely. And the reason why I put them there is because it's like, you know, Terry made it in, and Terry was super duper unlikely, right? So Terry was on no one's fucking radar, man. And so Steve was on some people's radars. And so there are people who actually were like thinking Steve might get in still, and they were right. And so That's awesome for them. So now let's go into my thoughts on the character itself. I do want to say, when it comes to taking an L, I'm not just taking the L on being wrong about Steve getting in. Again, I don't even know why I was so hard-headed about this, but I'm also taking the L because Steve is not a character who appeals to me in the slightest. I don't play Minecraft. I played a little bit of it, but I do recognize it's a super popular game, and I don't really hate the culture. I don't really hate people who like the game. I have no problem with that. I think even Anthony Fantano said that if he would be the most excited if they put like Minecraft in Smash. I think, I have a lot of friends who the only games they really have played are like Sims and Minecraft. It just seems like a lot of people have played Minecraft, and so for that reason alone, I think it makes a lot of sense. Now, some people are upset because he's mostly just a meme. Like, people didn't really want him in. They were not being earnest when they said they wanted him in. I don't think that's true across the board. I do think a lot of people were memeing for sure, but there are a lot of people who definitely did want him in for honest and earnest reasons. And so, I mean, but even if you say, well, it's a meme, well, we got Sans, I mean, we got Sans, so what did you expect? Sakurai will embrace the meme from time to time. But also, I just want to say, for me personally, because I've said this many times, that Fighter Pass 1 was tailor-made more so for me. I can totally accept other characters who are not really made for me. I mean, Fighter Pass 1 had Joker, who was probably my most anticipated character. And then I called Banjo in Dragon Quest. I was like, it makes sense that those two would get put in, as well as Joker. And Terry was someone who I would have never predicted, but I really like fighting games, and one of my favorite fighting games of all time is Capcom vs. SNK. And now we have Ryu versus Terry within Smash, so that's Capcom vs. SNK. Makes me very happy. Very excited about that. And so, not only that, but we got Byleth, who is the main character of Fire Emblem, which is a franchise I'm extremely fond of. Very happy about that. And I knew a lot of people weren't going to be happy about that. A lot of people probably didn't care about Terry. A lot of people probably didn't care about Byleth. A lot of people probably didn't care about anyone from Fighter Pass 1 except for Banjo. And then there's the people who didn't even care about that. And sadly, there's probably people out there who didn't care about any of the first wave of DLC and also don't care about Min Min and also don't care about Minecraft Steve. And those people are the ones who are probably really bumming. But I will say, if you got into Smash, you probably cared about at least one of the characters by now, right? Whether it's characters from the DLC or characters who... There's probably other third-party characters that are in the base game already that you were happy about. I mean, there's got to be someone that you're happy about at this point. But if you're not happy about anyone with a DLC, which I have a friend who's only happy about Banjo, and that's the great thing about the DLC. You only have to buy Banjo if that's what you want, I buy every character because I like to play Smash at parties, and every character needs to be available for those situations. But not everyone has to buy every character, especially if you only play online or just play like with a few people here and there. You could buy a character that your friend likes at least. But I'm gonna have Steve, and whenever they show the Mii costumes, which I can't wait to see the Mii costumes, I'll probably buy a Mii costume as well. So Steve is in the game. He's actually the first indie rep. People can finally shut up about indie reps. Though I know technically Microsoft owns it, but Microsoft pays for Cuphead too, so just shut up. Like, it doesn't matter. So we've technically have our first indie rep as a playable fighter and not just as a Mii costume. It's cool. It's cool. Now, as far as his gameplay goes, again, I can already tell you, I'm taking the L big time because I really don't think this character is going to appeal to me. The fact that you have to build up your weapon over time. This is a character who's definitely going to be made for 2v2s, a character made for free-for-all, a character made for standing back and not doing much. It seems like when you block yourself off, you're going to be like crafting your weapon. Steve could be a very annoying character to fight against. He could be kind of trolly and memey, but we're going to see more of how this character works in 2 days from now, which is actually the best news we got today, was the fact that this character is actually going to be shown off in greater detail soon. And typically that means the character comes out soon. So far, I mean, and I remember I said like we could get the full Sakurai Presents like a week from now. And the fact they're doing it 2 days from now, and it's going to be like first thing in the morning on Saturday, that's awesome. Like just, that's awesome. Like, you're doing things right. Hopefully he comes out right after, Because typically what they used to do was they would shadow drop the character the same day as a Sakurai Presents, except for two characters, Byleth and Min, who were released a week after their presents. However, both Byleth and Min were shown off in full with their trailers and everything the same day as their Sakurai Presents. So the fact that they're doing the trailer first and then doing the Sakurai Presents, I think that's a good sign. I think we might get Steve Saturday. And if that's the case, hell yeah, because I'm off work. But also, hell yeah, like I want to Saturday morning, you wake up, you go and you can fucking go play as Steve in Smash, and you have a new character, new classic mode. I'll invite my little brother over. We get to play some 2-player Smash. Dude, this is awesome. However, me and him might not like Steve. I think we'll both try him, but I don't think anyone I know is going to really like Steve. But, you know, think about characters like Snake, Snake's a very unconventional character who sets up a lot of traps. I think Steve might be similar to that. I think he's going to be the first DLC character that not everyone jumps to immediately. Even Banjo, people really, really jumped to and enjoyed playing immediately. Banjo's probably my main character still, though right now I'm really loving Falco. I love playing as Falco. I feel like I would do better with Banjo, but I just don't feel as rewarded when I play as Banjo. I like playing as Falco. And if I can beat some of my other friends' mains with Falco, then I don't care if Falco isn't as good objectively or whatever. Though I know a lot of people don't think Banjo's that good. It's just I do very good with Banjo. So I don't even care. Like, I'm enjoying playing as Falco. And I'm probably going to keep enjoying playing as Falco, which it is interesting. We might get new buffs and nerfs, and hopefully Falco doesn't change much because the new buffs they gave Falco make him a much, much better character. And the thing is, no one's complained about the buffs from the first Min drop. No one complained about the buffs. I think most people are pretty happy across the board with how the game is now. So as long as they just mostly buff characters and don't nerf anyone, I'm pretty happy about that. There's nothing that really genuinely pisses me off right now about Smash. I don't think there's a single character that makes me like really hate the game. I think Wolf is a little OP, but Wolf also has some weaknesses. Like if you just pick Bowser, Wolf will have a hard time, for example. So it just depends on the character matchups. That's all. But yeah, I am genuinely pretty happy about everything. I think okay, here's the thing. When I was watching the trailer, first it was focusing on Mario, and it was showing him get beat up, and it made me think like, oh shit, it might be a Mario character. And I was like, it's Geno. And we got knocked to the darkness. I was like, he needs help from Geno. But then I was thinking, wait, but then why would they show it? Like, why wouldn't they just show like straight up like Mario characters in the CG? Like, it wasn't really a CG trailer. It was mostly all gameplay. And that's when I was like, what's going on here? And to be honest, it makes sense because the way they have Steve presented in this game, he's all his actual graphics. Like, Steve does not look like he looks like a mod. Like, he does not look like he's in the same game. A lot of this trailer makes you feel like you're watching a different game. That's the thing. Like, this does not look like typical Smash. And the trailer was all gameplay to represent that, I think. And typically these trailers aren't like that. So they're usually a little bit more fancy schmancy. But I think because so many resources went to Steve, they're not really worried about that. But also I will say it is cool how they showed off like his different costumes. Potentially, they keep calling it Steve and Alex. They're not saying just Steve. So I think when you pick Alex, it'll actually say Alex. And I think when you pick Zombie, it'll say Zombie. And I think when you pick Enderman, it'll say Enderman. Like, however, there are a few other generic costumes. I think we can see 2 of them in the trailer. But I think there's still 2 colors that we haven't seen yet, because there's typically 8. And it'll probably be shown off in the Sakurai Presents video. So that's cool. Like, basically, he's another character. He's similar to Villager, where every costume is actually radically different, and it's not just different colors. But it looks like he's also like Hero, where he has 4 different, where his 4 alts are actual different characters. So I'm thinking there's going to be 3 variations of Steve and Alex, 3 colors for Steve and 3 colors for Alex. And then there's going to be 2, obviously there's going to be Zombie and Enderman, who are probably just going to be just Zombie and Enderman like that. And that's really exciting. Like, if you're a Minecraft fan, this is the ultimate, like, good, like, this is, just like the best case scenario if you're a Minecraft fan. Just much like how Hero from Dragon Quest is like the best case scenario if you're a Dragon Quest fan because you get multiple heroes. You don't just get only the one. This is like that where you get a lot of great representation from Minecraft. The stage looks amazing, and the moveset even includes building and shit. Like he looks like he represents Minecraft to a perfect point, and I'm really happy. The fact that he's got creepers in his final smash, that's awesome, makes me happy. He builds a house in his victory animation, that's really cool. So, I mean, I think at the end of the day, this has been... Oh, also, it looks like his moveset will be not just like throwing blocks down and jumping on them, but it looks like he'll have to get resources over time because it looked like he upgraded his sword. And at first I was thinking, oh, it looked like the girl Alex was using the diamond sword and he was using the silver broadsword, and it looks like the zombie was using the wooden sword. But now what I'm thinking is actually you just start out with the wooden sword and you have to upgrade it. And it looked like he was mining, collecting resources from battle. So it looks like you have to put blocks down and then get resources from them, or you'll get resources from doing other things. I'm not sure. And then you can upgrade your sword all the way up to a diamond, and then it'll be an actual very strong. So this character might be very good and broken and overpowered, but it looks like he doesn't have a bow and arrow or anything ranged like that. He just has... He can lay down TNT, and he can move in a minecart. So I think his 4B will be a minecart attack. I think his down B will be laying down a TNT and then laying down like a rope, and then you have to jump on the button to activate the bomb. It's gonna be crazy. Like, this is gonna be a weird character. Similar, think of Isabelle, think of Snake, think of characters like that. So I'm not, but then also he'll have to level up throughout the gameplay. So this is a character with a lot of mechanics. Like, you could just pick Mario, or you can pick Minecraft Steve, who has all these crazy fucking mechanics, you know? So, I mean, imagine if they made a character like Mario who is actually accurate to his character, where you have to use a question block as a special move, and you don't know what comes out of the question block. Sometimes it might just be a coin, sometimes it might be a 1-up, sometimes it might be... Which 1-up will just say gives you health in Smash, but it won't give you an actual life, because that would be way broken. But sometimes they'll give you, like, a cape, sometimes they'll give you... like a fire flower. Like, that would be stupid, but that would be an actual accurate Mario. The way they're doing characters like Steve, they're actually very accurate to Minecraft. Same with like Mega Man's A attacks are very accurate to Mega Man, but his B attacks are still, they feel like Smash, right? You don't actually switch your power. But, you know, when it comes to other characters, like, they're very, very accurate to their actual base game. So Steve is really accurate to the point where it's kind of crazy for a Smash character. So I don't know, but I am happy that the character is about to come out. I'm assuming. I'm happy we're finally getting the next character, but also something to understand. Hero was the second character of the Fighter Pass, and Steve is the second character of this Fighter Pass. Now what that means to me is the next character might be filler, or the next character might be really hype, and the fourth character might be filler, and the sixth character might not be that hype. But I'm thinking I'm thinking one of the middle characters, either 3 or 4, will be another very, very hype character, and then there might be another hype character in this pass somewhere, and then the 5th character or the 6th character might be a hype character. So there's a possibility we're getting like 3 more super hype characters, and because if Steve is the second character, I promise you Steve is not what they consider the most hype. They do not consider Steve the most hype, because the second character is not the most hype character. That's just for damn sure. So there's a strong chance that there's someone even more crazy than Steve coming. So that could be Crash Bandicoot, that could be Sora. I'm going to take Master Chief off my list. Doom Guy, even though he's owned by Microsoft now, was not owned by Microsoft when they were making these plans. So Bethesda is still on the table for me. However, because Fallout has representation, I'm going to go ahead and say that Bethesda probably isn't getting a full-fledged character. If anything, it'll just be a Mii fighter. But I'm basically saying expect Crash, expect Geno, expect Sora. Those 3 are really, really high right now, in my opinion. There's definitely going to be another character who's insane levels of hype. If you think... if you want Crash, then you should be happy about Minecraft Steve, because this is a character that the fans really highly demanded, but not during the development of Smash 4, but they did during the first wave of fighters for Smash Ultimate. They were like, we want Steve. So if the characters that people were highly demanding then, like Crash and Doomguy, you should be looking towards that. And not only that, but fucking Geno, and also characters who were rumored, like when Steve was rumored, also have a high chance. Another character was highly rumored back then was Ryu Hayabusa. A lot of people claimed that they had information that Ryu Hayabusa was going to be in the Fighter Pass. So here you go. I think Ryu Hayabusa's chances are very, very high. I think that Crash Bandicoot, to me, Crash Bandicoot's chances weren't that high. Right now, I'm thinking he's really high up there. I'm thinking Crash is like actually over the 50% chance mark. I think Crash is like 75% chance to 80% chance getting in this fucking game. Because if people wanted Steve and they got Steve, I think if people want Crash, they might get Crash. I'm not lying. I really do think that. So for me, this changes a lot of things. But it definitely, what it says is just because Min Min was the first character does not mean that this pass is going to be lame characters. I think that we're going to be getting some crazy cool announcements soon. Now, the next character might be Pokemon, but they also might announce Pokemon with a dual announcement, where it's one lame character and one super hype character. I could easily see them doing a dual announcement soon. Not soon, obviously, but as the next announcement, especially since it's for like 3 and 4. But yeah, I'm definitely thinking like there's probably going to be another filler character, but then another really hype character. I think there's going to be 2 more fillers and 2 more hypes, right? And considering, depending on what you consider hype and filler, I mean, some people might consider Ryu Hayabusa or Geno to be filler, but I think most people would consider Geno to be a hype character. But people would probably consider Ryu Hayabusa to be a filler character, and people would probably consider a Pokemon character to be a filler character. So I think it's going to be like about 2 more fillers and 2 more really, really hype characters. That's what I'm thinking. And so if that's the case, and they're thinking another hype character who could be more hype than Steve, that is big. That is big. Steve actually broke Twitter today because I think casual fans are going to go ballistic over the fact that Steve is in the game. And there's a lot of hardcore fans who really wanted Steve as well. So it's not like only the casuals or only the hardcore. Steve appeals to everyone. And there's probably a few people in the core community, right in the middle, who are like, yeah, that's cool. I've played Minecraft before. So there's a lot. This is appealing to a lot of people. This is good news for the most part. So, yeah. I mean, like I said, I was dead wrong about this character, but they gave him the Smash Bros. Charm. The fact that he eats meat during his final Smash and that he was eating it in the trailer, the fact that there's all these alt skins for him and his final Smash has creepers, the fact that he builds a house in his windscreen, the fact that his graphics are right out of Minecraft and they don't have the Smash art style at all. This character has a lot of appeal that has the Smash Bros. Charm, and this is like what I like about Smash and Sakurai. He gives it 110% every time. It seems like he's we saw that he plays Minecraft and he had like way more hours on Minecraft than like any other game. So, and he even said like it's not about who he wants. Sometimes Nintendo pressures him to put in a character. A lot of people are saying Nintendo would pressure Minecraft to be in. And I'm glad he's like, we have to do justice by doing Banjo first. I'm glad he did that. If the tables were turned and it was Minecraft and then Banjo, I don't think the hype levels from E3 would have been as high. So, but now, like, I think the hype is here, and I think people are happy. So, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. I'll probably have more to say during the Saturday one, so we'll have to see. But, yeah, excited. Anyway, I can't wait to play the character, hopefully on Saturday, but we'll see. But I'm expecting him to come out Saturday. But yeah, the fact that it's calling it Steve and Alex, that's really cool. The fact that they're considering the 4 skins as 4 characters, that's really cool. I'm really happy. So, yeah, I'm going to end this one here, and I'll have more to say on Saturday. I'll see you guys there.